Oh, my dear students, this is our seventh class, and this class is about a workshop you're going to do with my directions. But the fact is that you already have a lot of knowledge from the last class to solve what I'm going to ask you for. So, therefore, you have to, first of all, download the file. It is the file we used for the fourth class, which is solved for this class. And we are going to bring that relational database to Tableau and see how to work with a relational database, as some people like. In the last class, the sixth class, we studied the basics of Tableau, and now we are going to study a little bit more of basics, but applying what we learned last time. So this is a workshop. Therefore, we are going to use this file as we had it in the fourth class, but solved by myself, in which we have the original database that we are not going to touch, the main table that we are not going to use in Tableau. What we are going to use in Tableau is the fact table, the sub-fact table, and all of the lookup tables that we developed. You can compare this solved database with the one you did, and if you want to use yours, it's okay, but it has to be just the same as the one I am sending. So be careful with the IDs, because if you're not careful, you're going to have many problems with the relationship between tables in Tableau. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so this is our file, and the first thing we are going to do is to open Tableau. To create the file we are going to use to import the Excel file and see how it works with a many sheets file of Excel, which means that in each sheet we have to have information with its proper IDs and properly organized as we learned in the fourth class. Okay, this is the Tableau screen as you have already known it. So we're going to bring an Excel file, which is the one I am calling class 7 database assignment for class 4 solved. Okay, whenever we bring it, Tableau is going to show us the whole bunch of sheets this Excel has. Okay, and we have to, first of all, analyze what tables we are going to use. These are the tables that Tableau found in that file of Excel. And as you can see, we have the original database, the main table, which we are not going to use. So you can leave them there and don't work with them. So the first thing we have to do is to see if Tableau is recognizing the IDs, because as we did in Access we have to create the relationships. But Tableau may recognize the relationship between tables whenever we activate that table. So let's start by the fact table orders, which is the main table of this database. Double click on it and it is going to appear in the screen. The last class, we only used one table, which was just to know a little bit Tableau. Now we are going to use many tables. The second table, of course, is the sub-fact table orders. When you double click on it, Tableau recognizes that there is a relationship between fact table orders and sub-fact table orders. By now, it is enough for us to know that Tableau is recognizing a relationship. Okay? That we can see it here in the center of the screen, and it shows that it is a text ID of order and it is a text ID order in both tables, ID order in both tables, and it recognizes that there is a relationship between them. Okay, now let's bring the other tables. For example, the cities. As we know, cities are related to fact table orders, so Tableau recognizes it. Then customers, also related to fact table orders. One customer buys many products. And if we bring products, let's see what happens. Products is related, and Tableau recognizes that it is related to sub-fact table orders because many products or one product may be sold many times and it is registered in the sub-fact table orders. Now let's bring the shipping type, and it is related to fact table orders as we can see here. Now, when you bring the category, it is related to products. Let's see what happens. There it is. And of course, related to products is also the subcategory. When you double click on it, we are going to find that Tableau is telling me I am having trouble, Tableau says, with this table. Something is wrong with this table because it is showing me a notice that tells me that the relation, there is no relation because there is no coincidence or coincidence with any table. So it brings it wherever it believes it could be. But anyway, as you can see, when I bring this table, I cannot see any of the other tables whenever I click on it. Remember, if I click on a table, here I am going to see the information of that table at the right bottom of the screen. So I'm going to click that table and bring it to the left side screen in order to eliminate it. Now I can see that if I click on any table, I am going to see the information of that table where I have to see it, the right bottom of the screen. So we have some problem with this table. Let's see. I'm going to, as it is related to products, I'm going to click on products and see here in the center of the screen, the bottom center, I'm going to hit in this and I'm going to see that the subcategory is a number. Okay, this is a number. Remember that here in this part of the screen we see what kind of um, fields we have in each table. We also see them here and it is marked with a sign ABC for text, the number for numbers, and so on. Let's see the subcategory. I'm going to click on subcategory and click here and beside the subcategory to see the table. Here is the table. As we can see, the ID of subcategory different from the ID of subcategory in products. Here is a number and here is a text. Here is a text. So what we have to do is in the source file, which is Excel, we have to change the category, the IDs of subcategory in the table of products in order for products to recognize that there is a relation to ID of the subcategory. So I'm going to close this file. I may save it. I'm going to save it. In this case, I'm going to save it as sales workshop. Okay, for students. Okay, not really for students, but as an example, for students. Okay, right. I have to close this if I'm going to open Excel. So I better close this. Okay, and as I have Excel open, I can work on it. But if I had Tableau open with the connection to Excel, I couldn't save any change in Excel. So we have to close the Tableau to work with the Excel file. Okay, the fact is that in LT products, we have that the ID subcategory is numbers, okay? And the LT subcategory or the lookup table of subcategory is, the ID is alphanumeric. So we have to change. I'm going to take 4 or 5 of them and I'm going to paste it into products. Of course, it shouldn't be that way or done that way because I have to really classify each product according to its category and its subcategory. Okay, but by now we can do this wrong change in order for us to work with Tableau. Okay, save it. It is better to close it to go to work with Tableau. And let's see what happens. I'm going to open again my um, file of explanation for you. And now we can see that we have the relationship between products, and this is our file. The one you were seeing is the one I was working in order to show you what you have to do, because I'm not going to do it. I'm going to explain what you have to do, but you are going to do it with the knowledge you acquired last class. Okay, now here is again in we have here we have, let's see, and now I am going to bring the subcategory table, just double clicking on it to see if Tableau recognizes where it has to relate to. It hasn't, so I'm going to drag it near products in order to see if it relates to product properly. Let's see. There you are, and I am still having trouble. Let's see, I'm going to eliminate it. It is good to have these troubles. I'm going to eliminate it, and I'm going to see if products, remember I have to eliminate any table that is showing trouble to see if we have the right IDs, and as we can see, ID subcategory is still numbers. So it hasn't refreshed the connection with Excel. So we go here up on the left part of the screen and click on those little arrows, which are going to reconnect the database of Excel to Tableau. It may take some time. The bigger database, the more time it gets. Okay, now let's see. I'm going to eliminate products. Remember, I can limit dragging to the left part of the screen, and I'm going to open products. Let's see. Again, now we have that subcategory hasn't changed, and let's see. I'm going to close it and see. Bring it again to the screen. This is kind of a trial and error way of solving things. Okay, let's click on products. Let's see the fields products have, which is ID category, ID category. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to change it to cadena in Spanish, string in English. Click cadena because it has to know, and as you see, it recognized immediately with the new connection that there are some alphanumeric IDs in the ID subcategory column, which means that now we can work with the products table to relate it with both LT category, let's see, and LT subcategory. Let's see if it recognizes it at once. It has to. There you are. So now we have the relationship between category and subcategory with products, okay? And products related to subfact table orders, and these related to the main table, which is the order tables, or the fact order tables. And whenever you want to see the whole screen, you make it bigger or smaller, just pressing Control and moving the roll of the mouse. Okay, there you are. Now we can start working. I'm going to show you what you are going to do. The first thing you have to do is to bring the database and you are going to find mistakes, probably the same mistake that I have shown you, but you may find other mistakes. If you don't, you just solve the LT subcategory, then refresh the connection. Remember to close the Tableau when you are going to work with Excel, and to close Excel when you're going to work with Tableau. It is better. Now, I'm going to show you the database I have worked for you in order for you to see how to solve and to see what I want you to solve. We have our database already related, already um, done, solved in order to work with it. And what I want you to do is the following. You're going to create many sheets, new sheets, and one dashboard. Okay? So the first thing I want you to do is to ask or develop this table, which is the when I say T or G, it means in the title it means T for table, G for graphs, and TG for table graph. So this is one table. We're going to work other like this one TG table graph. So you have to write down exactly the names I told you in your workshop. Okay, the first thing I want to know from this database is for each customer, how many orders has the customer done? And what products has the customer bought in each order? And what is the quantity of those products for each order? For example, we have Aaron Bergman, who did this ID order or this order and bought an acro stacking bins or two acro stacking bins. But in this order, he bought Carina 42 inches, global push button, Newell 33. As you can see, we are totalizing not only the quantity of each of the products bought, but also the price or the sale and the total sale or the total of the account or the order for that product and for the order. So therefore you see the $23 here and of course, as it is only one item, the total of that order is 23. On the contrary, the total for the second order is 882. Sorry, and 22. And so on. How can I get totals? It is easy. Remember, when I get here the data, I have another menu here, which is analysis. And you are going to use these totals to bring them here you just drag them here to get the totals, first of all, of the product, right? And of course, of the whole order, okay? Now, as you can see, we are using rows and columns, and this is the way to use them, but you have to take into account, but sometimes you're going to find that some fields appear here and you can master or manage them from here. For example, for the format, you can click on here and you can say that you want money personalized format without decimals or with decimals, however you want. Okay, so this is the first thing you're going to do. Remember, this menu appears whenever I ask for format. You can close it here and you have already your menu of analysis and data. Okay, now you can hidden this menu while you work, right? And managing the table or developing the table. Now, the second part is I want you to tell me through a table graph, which means there is a table, but also we are going to include a part of a graph or a bar graph that shows me how many products we have in that order, how many of each product, okay, without any total, but only showing the total of the product itself, not in terms of money. Okay, so remember, you have to pay attention to what you have in columns, and also you have to pay attention if there are fields that appear here in the place of the marcas or marks. We're going to learn more about marks later. Okay, now, so you have to mix both a table, a table with a graph, and add the numbers. To add the numbers, you can use the context menu, and I want you to explore it to see where to find it, where you are going to find the way to put the numbers in each of the columns, okay? From now on, I want you to explore. I don't want you just to know, to get to know what I teach you, but I want you to explore, to find solutions. Because whenever you work alone in an office, in your enterprise or wherever, you will have to find solutions. You won't have anyone to ask for the solution. So you have to start training yourself to relearn, to learn by yourself, to find solutions. And there are many ways to find solutions nowadays, like, for example, Google, Tableau itself, and of course, as you have here in help, you may go to help and ask for help. To look for topics that you want to solve. Okay, so I want you to start developing yourself not only through what I teach you, but through what you find, what you investigate. Okay, the third part is a table that is going to show us the total for each city in dollars. Okay, how much we have sold in each city, but how many orders we have in that city. Okay, so this example is New York City 450 orders that represent 1,243,046 for 243,460. So if you want to order this way, you can click on here and it is going to order by the field you are manipulating in order to see from the higher to the lower or from the lower to the higher. The same, okay, than in any program that you have the possibility of ordering. Okay, the same for cities. You can order by city, you can order by the quantity. Okay, right. I want you to leave it ordered by the quantity of orders made. The next is a table that tells us how much we have sold and how many we have sold of each product. Okay, so this is the total sales and we have sold 14 products of those. Okay, right. Of course, we can order it again. We have it ordered by the product. Okay, so here in the 8 seat button, I can click and I can order it the way I want. Okay, I want you to live this way. Okay, so remember, I am bringing not only the total, which is a sum, but also the total of the quantity we have sold. Okay, remember, you can find many possibilities here, like for example, this field, which is the sum of quantity, mm, shows it here instead of here because it is part of the table itself, but according to the total sale and the product. So make your trials and find how to put it here. As a matter of fact, you could drive it here and work with it, or you could drive into the table and work with it. Okay, so trial and error is our workshop today. The next is a graph that shows us a graph that shows client by total sales, but with a bar graph. And I ordered it in such a way that shows us what client is our best client or the one that buys most, and down to the client that may be buying very little or clients that really don't buy uh, very much, mm, compared to clients that buy much, much, much more. Okay, up to the client that buys the most. Okay, right. Remember, I can change many things about the um, bars, and you can explore it, for example, color or height or width, whatever. Okay, next is the graph about the shipping types and how much shipping um, of each type we have had in our database, which means that first class we have had 787 orders have been sent by first class shipping type and 2,994 by standard class shipping type. Okay, so this graph is going to be a little bit strange for us because you have to um, clock as I told you, and you have to start knowing this menu. For example, in this case, we are going to see, for example, that we have to show the etiqueta de marcas, or label well, it is kind of labels of each of the columns, right? And we are going to tell Tableau to show this, to always show this mark. This mark means the number in order to for us to know how much or how many um, orders have been sent by each of the shipping types. Okay, next, what you're going to do, here you can drag, you're going to do the dashboard. This is the dashboard. I'm going to close the left menu. And this is the dashboard you have to get. You have already done the tables, the graph tables. Now you're going to bring them in this exact order. I won't accept any other order. This is the one. And remember that you can filter the whole information by one or many tables. Remember, as an example, I am going to filter by this table. So I click on that table. Remember that each table has to be, as we learned last time, flotante, in order for you to be able to order them in this way. If you don't apply that flotante comment, you're not going to be able to place them the right way. So let's see, for example, I'm going to take this like a filter, okay. All right, and I'm going to click on Los Angeles. Okay, so every information is about Los Angeles because this is the filter one. So if I click on San Francisco, as you can see, everything is going to change according to the city I am choosing. So remember, a dashboard allows us to start what Tableau calls and what we are going to learn later a story. Look at what happens in San Francisco. What are the sales customers by order, by products, by total? And the customers by order, by product quantity, and so on, right? So, for example, we have here all the customers in San Francisco. But if I take a city that doesn't sell, that doesn't have many customers, I can go for one of, like, for example, Keller, right, which is in another part of the United States, and there are not many items or there is not much information for this client, just a little bit, right? We have only one client there, which is Dan Lowera, and Dan Lowera has bought in one order two Ivory 510, which means $11, right? And here it shows that effectively he has bought only two, and the total sale was 10.8. Well, we could round this to $11. Okay, and it has been sent by second class type of shipping, right? In order to unactivate or to not use any filter, I just click again on the filter I had activated. That's right. So this is the dashboard I want you to do exactly as you are seeing here. I'm going to take pictures of this for you to guide yourself, but the fact is that you're going to have a blank, you're going to create a blank Tableau file, and you are going to do everything I have shown you here. All right. Now, as always, I will be available by my WhatsApp, and feel free to ask me anything. Remember, you can ask me anything except during examinations, right? Thank you very much for your kind attention, and I'll be available whenever you need me.